Be mindful. You're noticing what's happening.
Don't think how anything particular.
Nothing particular. Was it a comfortable feeling? Or not?
Well, it certainly wasn't uncomfortable. No.
Good. Right. Leia, how was that for you? Okay.
It was whimsical.
It was what?
Whimsical. Whimsical. That was fun.
That was fun. So how was that?
I don't play with the
fun?
scarf. Yeah.
But you know, it's something which I have found. I've been leading a number of groups all over and also near the border. And yesterday I led one in Kibbutz Sad. And while I was there, I did it with a group of people. And it didn't matter the age of the people, of all ages. There were people there that must have been in their 90s, and there were people there that were much younger. But it didn't matter. Everyone was just able to be with the music and to be with the movement and the soft movement, touching something which they're not necessarily used to touching. It was a calming sensation. So we're looking at the sensations and not trying to figure out why this is working, what it's doing necessarily. Just to be at this moment mindful and aware that sensation can help us to calm down. Okay?
I'm wondering,
Yes.
I'm relaxing from your voice.
Yes.
And I think it was the music you play. I think it's more the auditory things that have been affecting me than so much the physical, my body.
So, but something is also affecting your body. So the auditory, when you speak, when any of us speak on a lower volume, it hits this reptilian brain. When we speak louder, like that's one of the reasons that I did not bring a presentation like I do when I go to a conference, because I knew this was going to be a workshop, and I wanted to make sure you left here at least no worse than when you came. and so if I were to have to scream, or I would just show you pictures of different things on a screen, some of you might, or I would even bring up different professional jargon, some of you that might turn off on one level or another. And I thought that was not a smart thing to do with this kind of a group for the purpose that we had today. So, and I didn't want to have to raise my voice. So many times it doesn't matter what I said, but how it's said. And you know, I think that that's the way it is in life also. So many children come and they will, if they're really honest with us, they will say, if you had said that to me in a nicer way, I could have listened to you. But when you talk to me in a rough voice, or you're yelling, or you're screaming, or you're angry, I can't hear you. And it's not that they don't want to hear you. They honestly cannot hear you because their brain goes whoops, and their neocortex is not with them while you're yelling. So they need us, and I don't mean you without putting me in. So I'm also a mother. I also have my fair share of raising my boys. So what we all need to do is to allow them to have their neocortex down by speaking to them in a tone which is lower, softer, and then that allows them to be able to hear us. And in the same way, it's like the children, we ask, well, tell me, what is it that's bothering you? No, tell me. They can't say anything. That's because they're frozen. They're frozen. They really cannot say anything when they're being yelled at. If you say, well, if you don't tell me why you're crying, and then I'm sure you can imagine what the rest of the sentence might be. And so children that are crying need to be comforted, and it's okay that they're crying. And once they finish crying, maybe they'll be able to tell us what's bothering them. And if not, maybe eventually they'll be able to tell us what's bothering them. So all of the tools that we have here are great for the emergency situation that we're in, or the security situation, or however we want to define it. But they're also good for every day. The same brain, the same nervous system is with us all the time. And if we know how to deal with something on an everyday level, it's there for us in the emergency situation. And if we learn the things during an emergency situation, so let's pray that we won't have the emergency situation very often, and then we'll be able to use these same tools for everyday stressors which come our way, and we have no control over when they come or not. We will have reminders of these things when I'm available. I put together part of them for the children, the parents of the children that we did the other day, and they also tried to put all of this together or add it to the document, and then we'll have it also for adults. Okay? Right? So that way we'll have it all for you as well. Okay? So I think that's probably enough for right now. That's just my feeling. Tell me, now, you didn't get to your...
I'm under the mistake, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't, I wouldn't have done it while you were gone. So that would have been very, no, but it was very nice. So for those of us who feel the activation in our system in the evening, the first thing that I would suggest is to take a warm shower. Maybe to have a little lavender, lavender, with a little bit of, with a little bit of almond oil or something, and just give yourself a little bit, or you can put it at your pillow. It's very calming. Right? Just these are little things that anybody can easily.
Do you approve of a small drop of alcohol?
That's not something that I recommend. People feel that that's good for them. That's
I just read somewhere that does the opposite.
So I don't go there.
Well, I don't nowadays, but
I don't know. I really don't know. My experience with alcohol is professionally that it's something which can be addictive, and so I would prefer not to suggest things which are addictive. What I do feel, though, if we go back to the body-mind tools that we've done so far, is if when you're lying on your bed, you just put your hand on your stomach, your chest, and then you slowly track what's going on inside. And then, while you're still awake, you find where the ceiling and the wall meet each other. And very slowly, as if you're going, it's so it's just sort of go across. And then you watch how your eyes are just moving very slowly. And notice what that does. It's if your eyes are going very slowly with your finger. I noticed I just had a deep breath. you can do at home is to go across the Google and you catch. But what I was doing was trying to show you the pace, how to do it, not just go, whoops. You know, that's not going to happen. But if you do it very, very slowly, and you say, I have all the time in the world, and if I need to, I'll just go backwards. And I'll just do it again. And then I'll track my body, I'll track the sensations, and I'll allow my body just to relax. And however long it needs, that's what it'll do. Without judging, and without it being, difficult on yourself. Just to notice and see what happens. And that's the way to allow your body to relax. I've been told that going on the internet before you go to sleep is not good for you. It destroys certain hormones which help us to be able to fall asleep. So those of you who are freaks from the internet should find something else to do in the evening hours and sort of allow yourselves to calm down. Cherries are supposed to be very good for giving us more of the, whatever it is that we need to be able to calm down.
Reading a book, reading a book is very relaxing.
Now, what I would suggest is whatever books you read, it shouldn't be really exciting detective stories or war stories or, something that has violence. One thing which I did not mention until now, but I would strongly suggest is to censor or cut down very much the amount of news that you listen to or you watch. And it doesn't matter how old you are, but whether it's for children, for sure, you should be very careful what they hear your conversations. It's frightening. Even hearing the news, the noise, the music. If you think about what I said about how calming and how we want to help our nervous system to calm down, what's on the television is definitely doing something which is opposite. No matter whether it's Channel 2, 10, 22, or CNN, or Fox News. So I would certainly keep it down to a very minimal. I personally have taken to looking at the updates without pictures, without full graphic descriptions, just to know what's going on, and I do it maybe twice or three times a day. For 2 or 3 minutes, that's it. And I find that when I do that, I'm still up to date enough, and it helps me to keep my system a little bit more under control, and I need to be able to have my system that I can contain all of the stories and things that I'm working with. So I have to be really cautious. Also, those of you that drive, be careful to drive within the speed limit. So, because whenever we're, driving within the speed limit, we're able to also stop the car more easily. We're able to concentrate better. And being careful these days is really important. Okay? I think I got your question. I'm curious to know how your edges, did you take off a little bit of that edge? You can tell me no, and then I'll have to think of what else we should do. We didn't address the anger. I just
I was just thinking. I think part of the edge, and I don't know. I think a part of the edge for a lot of people, like as I'm sitting here, and basically as I'm doing anything throughout the day, is a feeling of waiting for the next siren. Like meaning, even this entire thing, I'm like. So if we're sitting in here, and any minute there's going to be a siren, meaning like basically wherever I am. So I don't know if there's anything you can do about that feeling of just waiting for the next siren.
I think that waiting is important to have. I don't think we should want to get rid of that. I think waiting when we're in a dangerous situation, I consider being in the midst of a war not a not dangerous situation. I think that's definitely not the kind of situation that I would want to wish for my friends or relatives, and so, or for myself. So I think that being, to have a certain amount of, awareness of what's going on, and even, what's the word, readiness. That readiness is healthy. It's like being scared at times. It's healthy. I think that, it's like little children who are babies are not scared of falling down the stairs. That's why they need their mothers to be watching them so they don't fall down the stairs. But, so to be scared is not a bad thing. To be ready and to, have a certain amount of readiness is also important. To be able to take off is extremely important. So if you are always in a situation of readiness and you need to get away, this globe continues much longer, I strongly suggest going on vacation or leaving the area where you're always feeling so alert, over alert, and just planning it. You're going to leave for 2 days and let your system calm down so you can come back. It's not running away, and I don't think that when you feel like it's too much, don't wait until it's much too much. Say, okay, time's come, time to take a break. Taking a break is one of the things that all of the specialists have said is healthy as long as it's a break plan.
Tell me at this moment, where's the place to go for a vacation? Everywhere you go, there's a boom.
I think that there are some places, even in Israel, which are a little less volatile than here. So,
There are some places that are mobile.
yes, I agree with you.
I didn't hear
There
you.
are worse places than this.
There are wars, yes, yes.
Of the Arava,
That's
Arava
true.
corner.
Yes, yes.
Mostly.
There are-
Mostly.
Arad mostly.
Yes, I think there
Getting
are
both
those.
area is fine.
Yeah, Run is quiet. I guess they have just one.
Right, so there are many places where people are living a little different, style of life now than we are here. Just like we are living a more relaxed, believe it or not, than people who live in Sderot or in the kibbutz side or wherever. So the kibbutzim, the Erie or whatever on the border. So, and because they hear also our cannons all the time, their system is more full than our system. And so it's not a matter of even fear. If your system is adding too much, just say, it's okay, it's time for me to get away. And there are plenty of places and people who have sheltered rooms who are even offering, for home hospitality or whatever, for people who can't afford, to go to a bungalow or whatever. So there are ways of getting a little break. I strongly suggest it for whoever feels like I'm up to that point. The other part about the anger, I just mentioned that before we finish. I think it's a healthy kind of a reaction. And in my mind, anger and strength are sort of parallel. And so what I would and let yourself feel your strength. I mean, breathe through it. You might want to write a letter to your congressman. You might, to the Knesset member or someone, or you're doing like you're doing here, or something, so you feel as if you can feel like you're doing something that maybe will have some sort of a help make a change for someone somehow. And I think that what you're doing, Emily, is certainly you're there for a lot of people. So you're also containing what you're also doing, and maybe just to be noticing how much you are doing, and also the frustration of trying to let everybody do what they're supposed to be doing, and then just see how it's going to come through in your system. And just notice what it feels like inside. Just like we were working with the fear or the edge, so also work with the anger the same way. To notice where it is in our body, and then to notice your resources. To notice either your bodily resources, like your ground, like your breath, like your touch, and also to notice other resources, all those other things that help you feel good that you've got. And that was what I was sort of thinking about when I asked you what were the things that your family gave to you. What were your resources? What were the things that helped you to be able to get through the blitz?
I can't do anything specific.
Okay. Well, when it comes up, please send it to Miriam. So that way we'll put it on Anglo Beersheba, so we'll all know. I think that it's I always admire the things that people did at those times, because I think that they did tremendous things, and they went through so much more than what we're going through now.
Oh, yes. Very intense.
So, yes, and I think that, one of the things that can help us as a resource is our knowing that we are part of people who has made it through so much, and with even much less than what we have now.
And even more so, Holocaust survivors.
Yes, of course. So, when we put everything into perspective, then we can sort of breathe a little deeper and say, okay, they made it through for so long. We'll make it through a little bit more. And we'll be able to go on vacation.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. You're very welcome. I wish you all, and all of us, we should finish quickly. And if you have questions, you're welcome to write.